Hello friends, Dhanvan here. Okay, now this video is mainly to make you people aware of what books to be read for a NEET. Now soon after NEET exams, me and my friends we have wasted a lot of time looking for books, which is the best book, which is the ideal approach. So this video is mainly made to make you people aware of what books to be read for NEET. Now before telling about these books, now first thing I would like to tell you is what is the ideal approach to prepare for an NEET entrance exam. It's joining the coaching center and reading just the handwritten notes. Okay, just reading the handwritten notes and keep on revising it again and again is the ideal approach. Now if you want to just read handwritten notes, then why are these books put up here? Now the thing is, those notes, right, will not give all the information. Okay, there will always be some lacking. Okay, sometimes the lecture will be very good, the notes will not be good. Sometimes the notes will be good but the lecture will not be good. Okay, so the many drawbacks. Okay, it's impossible to get a perfect notes for all the 19 subjects in any particular coaching center. Okay, so there will always some loopholes, so we can fill those loopholes by reading up these books. Okay, now second thing is when you take a book, you should whenever you're looking into any book, right, you should ask one simple question with yourself: can you read that book 3 to 4 times? Okay, if you can read that book again 3 to 4 times, once you read today, again before the exam 3 to 4 times, then only you should read that book. And if you start asking yourself, right, it is almost impossible to do that. Okay, there's no point reading a book for 1 month and you're not able to read it again for 3 to 4 times before the exam. Okay, so if you can't do that, whatever it is, any notes, any book, if you can read it, you should be able to read it 3 to 4 times before the exam, then only you can apply it in the exam, or else there's not much of use. Okay, so select the books carefully. Okay, selecting all thick books, okay, which you're not able to revise towards the exam, there's no point reading those books. Better to keep those books aside. Okay, now what is the best approach? See, you can't again complete the entire book. Okay, you got the coaching classes over, you got a notes. Now what you can come back and do is you can read up the notes and you can just solve the questions from these books. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to just select some points from these books and add on to your notes, so that while revising the notes you can also revise those points. Okay, because you can't revise these books towards the exam, it's only the handwritten notes which you can revise during the exams. So you have to just add the points from these books, from these guide books, to your notes. Now what points you will add to your notes? Now if you keep on adding all the points, right, then it's endless. Okay, you start spoiling your notes. Okay, the whole point of writing a handwritten notes is to be as crisp as possible, so that you can revise it as fast as possible during the exams. Okay, but if you keep on adding all the points, then you are messing up your notes. So what you can do is you can add only those points, those topics which are keep on repeated in the exam, and those which are not given in your notes. Okay, only those repeated topics of entrance exams which will be mentioned in these books, they'll tag a NEET repeat question. Okay, you can only add those points. Okay, suppose if there's a question, you can add just that topic to your notes, and also the other option, the wrong options, you can read about them and you can add to your notes, and you can revise the notes, and you can keep your books aside when the exam comes. Okay, so this is the best approach. Okay, now we'll start off with discussing regarding the salient features of these books. Okay, now first the book which put up here is a biochemistry. Now this book is written by one of the famous author by name Rebecca James. She's literally called Queen of Biochemistry in India among NEET students. Now this book has got excellent theory content, but you don't have time to read all the thing. Okay, initially in the beginning of while starting, you might feel like reading entire thing, but don't do that mistake. Directly start off with the questions and read the discussion underneath it, and read the tables. Whichever topics are repeated and which are not given in your handwritten notes of your coaching class, add those things to the notes. Okay, and this book has also got some images, so one-liners, tables, and the discussions under those questions. Okay, you can read them. Theory content you don't have to read. Okay, you can just read the handwritten notes. Okay, and if at all some topics you're finding difficult, only those theory contents you can read. Next book is physiology. Now there are two books for physiology. One is written by Sauman Manna and one by Krishna Kumar. Now this Sauman Manna book is very simple and is very easy, simple explanation for physiology has been given. Again, reading the notes, handwritten notes is the best approach. Here you can solve some questions, the recent NEET questions, past 1 year, past 2 years. Okay, those you can solve, give more importance to them, and add those whatever extra points you get, you can add them to your notes. Okay, now the second book for physiology is Krishna Kumar. Now this book is also equally good, but one particular advantage of this book is it gives you more one-liners. Okay, it gives you more one-liners. Now this book this book will give you more one-liners and also starts connecting physiology to the other subjects like pathology, okay, medicine. Okay, that connecting thing is more better describes in this book by Krishna Kumar. Now after that, the next subject which is anatomy. Now for anatomy, you can read this book written by Rajesh Kaushal. Again, it's a very thick book. It's very difficult to complete the entire anatomy in this book. What you can do is you can go through the questions. You can go through the questions of these books and the discussion underneath it, and whichever topics you feel difficult, you can go through just those theory contents of these books, and make sure you add those points to the handwritten notes. Okay, unless until you add the points to handwritten notes, okay, in a crisp way, you are not able to read it again before the exams. Okay, now next book is microbiology and immunology. Now this is also provides microbiology in extensive details. Okay, now the most important feature of this book is the images. The images gallery towards end of the book is excellent. Okay, it gives good explanation of those images, and lot of image based question and also non-image questions will come from those image gallery. Now this book provides you a CD with systemic bacteriology lecture. Now more interesting feature of this book, this author Apurva Shastri, is he conducts online lectures. Okay, this very cheap it is. We have to pay some 500 rupees per week, and you get an entire online lecture. You can simply type online Purva Shastri online lectures in the net, and you can get those videos. You can subscribe them and you can go through them. Okay, if you go through his videos, you don't have to go to the book. Okay, his videos, okay, and going to the image gallery of books will work for microbiology. Next book is Concepts in Pathology, written by Devish Mishra. Now whatever books I am telling you, right, these books are the one released last 1 year. Now before those, there were some other books like Across, Arvind Arora. The trend for this recent modern books, okay, the trend was started by this book by Devish Mishra. Okay, now this was the first book which changed the way of thinking into look into entrance book. Okay, now if you start reading this book, right, many of you might be thinking to take up a medicine surgery. If you start reading this book, there will be one point you might even feel, okay, should I opt for pathology for my MD or MS, whatever. Okay, so that much good this book is. Okay, so this book is written very beautifully. Again, you don't have time to go through all the book. Okay, what you can go through is the high yield information boxes in these books and the recent NEET questions. See, there are many questions in all these books, but you can't, if you start solving all the questions, it's endless. So whatever the NEET pattern recent questions have been highlighted, okay, so just focus on them, okay, and those discussion topics and add those points to your notes. Okay, now next is a review of pharmacology. All of you know Gobind Rayberg is the way to go for pharmacology. Is again, people call him father of pharmacology. He is very famous for his books and for his classes throughout India. So again, going through some recent NEET questions, okay, some tables, some one-liners, and adding them to the notes comes handy. For forensic, again, review of forensic medicine by Sumit Seth is the book. Again, this book doesn't provide you much of tables, but it gives you a good number of mnemonics, and you can read this book. The theory part of the book can be read because it's a very small book, and you will finish the theory part fast. Okay, so other books I will not advise you to go through the theory, but this book you can rush through the theory very fast. Okay, and again, it's given in a very simple way. Next is Preventive and Social Medicine by Vivek Jain. Again, a very famous book. Again, very difficult to cover the entire theory content or read it cover to cover. It's almost impossible. Okay, what you can do is you may be able to cover it, but there's no point in covering it if you can't revise 3 to 4 times before exam. So going to the image gallery of this book, again, PSM, lot of image questions comes. Images of these books are very good, and the initial few pages there's something called as golden points, which also comes very handy. Next, the entrance book is ENT. Okay, it's written by Manisha Budhiraja. Now, this book clears crystal clear concepts of ENT. There's no better books which can clear concepts of an ENT better than this book. Okay, it's very simple, and you can also finish it, but again, very difficult to revise with so many books. Okay, so solve the questions, go through the tables, images, and add those points to your handwritten notes. Again, till now, whatever books I mentioned, right, were all by a subject specialist. Okay, now this is one book which is written by ophthalmology book, which is written by a non-ophthalmologist. Again, there are many better books for ophthalmology, but this one book is written by again Gobind Rayberg, the pharmacology author. Now this book is so simple. See, ophthalmology subject can be made as simple as possible, as complicated as possible. Okay, going through those complicated questions, will not fetch you much. Okay, so this book provides ophthalmology in a real simple way, simple tables, excellent mnemonics. Okay, there is no match for mnemonics given in this book. Gives the best mnemonics and the tables and the different types of last minute revision questions, one liners. This book provides it. Now they have written it in 3 days, ophthalmology in 3 days. Believe me, you can literally finish this book in 2 days. Okay, this is ophthalmology by Gobind Regar. Next book is orthopedics. Again, the best author in the country for orthopedics, that is Apurva Mehra, has written this book, orthopedics. Again, this book is the best for orthopedics. It has given the best tables, best images, and towards end of this book there's something 4 to 5 pages of they compress the entire orthopedics to 4 to 5 pages to be finished in some 1 or 2 hours. Okay, so this book is the way to go for orthopedics. Next book is dermatology, written by Saurabh Jindal, again very famous among students for his teaching. Okay, this is there's no doubt that this is the best book for dermatology, and this provides all the images, one-liners, tables, etc. Now for anesthesia, there are hardly much books, but this book will do the job for anesthesia. That is written by Arvind Arora. It comes with other combinations, skin, radiology, psychiatry. For anesthesia part, you can go through this book. Again, for all the short subjects, the books are not necessary. Handwritten notes is totally enough. But again, all the books, all the notes will not be good enough. So okay, so we have to compromise. So we end up reading these books sometimes. Okay, you might miss classes, all the lecture might not be good. So in that time, you might have to come back and read these books. Okay, again everybody knows and we need not talk about this again and again. Sumar Suti, review of radiology, is the best book for radiology. Okay, now the review of psychiatry by Praveen Tripathi is the way to go for psychiatry. Theory content is very small book. Theory content is extremely good. Again, we might not get so much time to go through entire theory content, but going through the questions and discussion, okay, is very helpful if you go to this book. Okay, and this book is the best. It is made psychiatry very simple. Entire concepts of psychiatry is made simple in this book. Next, we are coming to final year subjects. Now as the subject, the content of subjects are increasing, it's better to read less number of books. It's better to just stick on to your notes. But OBG written by Puneet S. Bojani, for some reason he has compressed the entire OBG to a set of pages. Okay, literally the questions and the discussions in these books are so good, so good. And the particular feature of this book is the management in OBG. What is the next approach? What is the management? What is the best approach is extremely very nicely given in this book. Again, the gynecology part is also very good. The image is also very good. Okay, this is a book which can be finished in a span of 3 to 4 days. Okay, again, the theory content you need not go. Okay, just solve those questions. You read the handwritten coaching notes and go through the questions of this book. Okay, your concepts will be very clear. Okay, and make sure you add those points in the handwritten notes. There's no point reading a book if you can't add those points to the handwritten notes. You can't catch hold of these books just before exams and keep on reading them. Okay, you will simply stress yourself out. None of this book should be on your table before the entrance exams. There should be just your notes. Okay, and so it's very important. You should think that you should add these points. Only the few repeated questions points should be added to your notes, and those are things to be notes. Handwritten notes should be read before the exam, and none of these books to be read. Okay, next is Pediatrics. Now among all the books, if you ask me which is my favorite, is this book, a review of Pediatrics by Meenakshi Botra. Okay, now why this is excellent, because see, the many people tried writing books in pediatrics, but always there were some loopholes. Okay, they could not cover the entire thing, or they could not provide the proper content of pediatrics. But this book written by Meenakshi Botra has provided all the information required for pediatrics. Okay, again, it's a very thick book, very difficult to finish, but definitely go through the growth, development, nutrition part of pediatrics. Okay, the images are extremely good, the MCQs are even better. Okay, and the diseases, they describe the diseases in tabular forms. Okay, and very nicely given, and the radiology aspect of pediatrics is also extremely good. Okay, and the image gallery is also very good. Okay, next two books is surgery and medicine. Now these books, it's people start reading these books right at the beginning. They can't revise it, they keep it aside. Okay, so for medicine and surgery, best thing is notes, the handwritten coaching notes. Nothing else is required. How much ever you get from the notes, that much is enough. If you start reading these books, you will read it for 2 months, 3 months and all. Absolutely, there's no point reading these books. That doesn't mean these books are not good. Both these books are even referred by PGs. Okay, even MCH, DM students. Okay, so there's no doubt these books are very good. Okay, but you can refer some topics from these books. books, whichever diseases are coming, again all the surgical diseases without leaving any will be explained in these books in a nice manner. Now the next book